Good evening, folks. People are texting me. Sorry. So, good evening, folks. I'm Heidi, and I will be reading for you this evening for Back Porch Magic. Don't mind my insulated curtains on this side, comforter on the other side. This is not my bedroom, spare bedroom. So how's it going? Happy Imbolc, or if you're Chinese, Happy Lunar New Year, Happy Imbolc, Happy New Moon, all that other stuff. Well, Chinese New Year falls on a new moon. That's just the nature of it. So, yeah. So it was a new moon in Aquarius. I don't know what that means. I'm not an astrologer. I know we are out of Venus retrograde, but we are still in Mercury retrograde, at least for a few more days. So, yes, the troubles will soon be over. This popped out like, yes, the troubles will soon be over. At least things will be clear. Hello. Okay. Hello, Kellis. Hello, Mary Ann. Mary Ann, I will read from you first. As you can see, Noodle is joining me. She's like, Mommy, you've been gone all day. I need cuddles. Yes. I will read around the cat. Okay. Oh. Falls to the floor, comes to the door. Okay, let's pull out the other two to expedite this process. Yes, Mama. Yes, I know. I know, baby. I know. Oh, she will. Okay. Ooh, well, that's not a bad card to get. Okay, so we have the first card that fell out was the Nine of Cups. And then the other two that I drew, the second card was Princess of Swords and the Four of Discs. Noodle, you gotta move. So since this fell out, this seems like what's been on your mind lately, or maybe what the goal is. This is the Nine of Cups, contentment, happiness, all things enjoyable. 9, I feel like, is more perfect than 10. 10 is just like everything is completed. 9 is just enough. Just enough. But the other two cards, I'm like, my first thought was with these two, like she's in the middle, the Princess of Swords, and to the back of her is this Four of Discs. So boring. I mean, this is stable, this is boring, this is safe. But she is facing this 9 of Cups. So what is it that you can do that's kind of a big shakeup to bring you that satisfaction, that happiness, that meaning that you're seeking, like that emotional satisfaction? That doesn't mean you necessarily have to give up this. Like, you can use this as like your back, your platform, like your stability, your home base. You don't have to turn away from your stability, the things that make you stable, or even your home or your safety. Like, you don't have to do that to find your happiness, but it can be a shakeup, like whatever this is about. So I hope this helps. And Kellis is next in the lovely land of Great Britain. Hi, in the Lake District. I'm also in a Lake District of sorts. I feel like I said that. Mike, Noodle. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, this is like almost like another framed reading. In the middle, we have the Queen of Discs. You know, just kind of sitting. She's a bit isolated, but she has everything she needs. And it's not just the isolation part. It's like protected, but also being aware of how far you've come in your life. Like, it's a multi-layered meaning. Okay, and on one side we have the Eight of Cups. Perhaps you're reminiscing, because she's facing this Eight of Cups, reminiscing on something that you left behind that you maybe didn't want to. maybe weren't ready to leave behind. Maybe it's a bit of nostalgia about that thing that really wasn't all that good, but you've left it behind. And the other two cards that are beside her are the Ten of Cups and the Moon. I don't think this is necessarily like, sometimes the moon kind of gives things a crazy vibe, but it's also like a deeply emotional vibe. It's like deeply in touch, like depth of feelings, very maybe passionate, loving, caring feelings. But you have everything that you need and more as far as emotions going. And perhaps like, I mean, new moons aren't usually known for making people kind of like emotional and crazy, but sometimes they can be, especially not, we're in Aquarius, like talk about no feelings sign, like not that they don't have feelings, it's just I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, perhaps it has to do with the moon that you're just feeling this swell of, I don't know, you have all that you need. Okay, who am I missing? Hello, Ruth. Yes, you may certainly have a reading. Yes, Mama. Okay. Alrighty. Hi. I see people saying hi. Hi back. I'll try to say hi to you as I go along. Ooh, interesting. Big cards here. Not bad, just big. So we have the Wheel of Fortune, and this card is in the middle. And on either side, we have the Empress and the Magician. This is kind of the Dark Magician, the trickier one. So this feels almost like a crossroads, like a choice to be made, like whether it's moving from one phase of life to the other, whether this is the starting point, the Empress, to the Magician, you know, having, because of some major life event kind of forcing you to be a different person. Or I feel it could also be like a choice between, you know, having to be like it. This feels like, whatever this is, it feels like it's almost like a lover's kind of, like the lovers would be about a choice, but this feels almost like choice. Like you're at a point right now, it's different from a crossroads. Feels a little bit more unstable than a crossroads. A crossroads is very clear, but this just seems like, depending on what you choose, is kind of like gonna show how things move forward from this point out. And it might even be choosing between like how to be or who to be. Yeah, but it's like kind of unstable even as we speak. You might not have a choice as to which way you go. Yeah. But the Empress is a very like caring, loving feeling. It usually is a card about mothers or one's own mother or other respected female, I guess, an elder of sorts, not necessarily old, but someone well respected, someone nurturing and caring. And she's like the traditional, what we would consider the traditional feminine, represents all those things. Doesn't mean she doesn't have magic. It just means it's different from, say, like the Priestess. And the Magician is, you know, has all the materials at his hands and knows how to create them into something new, or use them to get ahead or to gain things. And with this wheel in the middle, it just makes it feel very, very unstable and very like there's like big changes are coming, but we don't know which way it's all going yet. All right. Hello, Angie. Hi, Amanda. Yes, you can certainly have a card. I see there's a new folk. Hi, July. I hope you're still watching. I will get to you momentarily. Oh, card flipped. Ooh, I've been getting a lot of these cards where like there's like a big card in the middle, like a significant card in the middle. And for you, your middle card is the Hierophant. The Hierophant rules things like structures, communities, sometimes very traditional, bureaucratic type, hierarchical, not bureaucratic, hierarchical type communities. And on one hand, the card that flipped out was the Knight or King of Swords, like very like cutting edge, wanting to get to the heart of a matter, like no holds barred, extremely direct. And then the other side we have the Knight or King of Wands, which is like very passionate, very fiery, sometimes very angry and forceful. But in the middle here we have like this, we have the Hierophant. So maybe there's some kind of like shakeup going on within a community or a school or some sort of structure that you're a part of. It could be. But now the other meaning that's popping out to me is it could be like seeking out that school or community or whatever, finding it, and then like being like so like glad that you got it. I don't know. I think it's more, I don't know. I think it's more my first answer. But sometimes I'll get like multiple meanings pop out at once. But yeah, this just seems like, you know, there's some very fast moving, very energetic, sharp, clear things coming to focus regarding either a community you're part of, a church, school, some sort of hierarchical structure within your world. Okay. Sorry, I feel like I could have done better. All right, you're welcome, Kellis. Yes, July, it is your turn. Okay, and then Haley. Oh, cards are just jumping out for you. Okay. All right, July, let's see what we got. Ooh, okay. So, 9 of Wands. Have you been a little beat up lately? Has life been pretty freaking tough? It just seems like it's never ending. If that is the case, then this is actually a good sign. It just means it's not over yet. You still have to fight. There's still a little bit more, but you have enough in your reserves to get through this. Like, you will get through this. Like, it's going to be okay. And then like once whatever this struggle, this stress is over, like you can be yourself again. You can just kind of just relax. Like, remember that life is also, I mean, life is hard, but it's also here to be enjoyed. Like, put yourself out there, get back in touch with your feelings again. Like, if you need to grieve something, grieve it. If you like dancing or going out, like go and do those things. Just dream again. Like, just because life has been hard lately doesn't mean it has to be forever. And then once you get past that, like once you're able to kind of get back out in the world, like here comes the sun, like everything will be better. Like, look at this. Like, we start out with this 9 of Wands, and it's going, you know, directly from the moon to the sun. And the end result of this is the sun. So just like, you will get through this. It's going to be okay. Like, just remember to love your life and enjoy it, and try and remember that child within you or who you are. So I hope that helps. All right. Haley, hello. You're welcome, July. All right, Haley, yes, you can certainly have a reading. Okay, let me shuffle up. Noodling away. That's okay. I love her dearly, but it's easier to do readings without her on my lap. My darling girl. All right. Here we get this Hierophant again. Okay, so we start out with the 4 of Swords. And then the Hierophant in the middle position, like it was a little bit earlier, and then finishing out with the Aeon, also known as Judgment. Okay. These are all very churchy cards, like traditionally speaking, like in the Rider-Waite. This one has the Knight laying in the tomb, which is in a church. And the Hierophant, the Pope, you know, representative of the church. And then the judgment, or the aeon or judgment, has like angels coming out of the tombs. So they all have like tombs and churches and all that interrelated. So to me, it just feels like there's things that you're learning about. Like the overall kind of makes me feel like things that you're learning about a trusted community, a trusted structure that you knew, that thing you're learning more about it. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's not necessarily negative things either. I mean, but we all know things about stuff like that. It can be. I don't think it is, though. It seems almost like, because of the nature of the Four of Swords, it's all about reflection and not about action. It's about kind of being quiet and meditative and reflecting and observing and just looking and realizing like what has happened in the past and that you've gotten here, and maybe other people didn't make it, but you did. And then as far as the Hierophant and the Aeon go, it's almost like, what I'm thinking is not just like the observing and not saying anything. It's almost like you kind of learn more about it. Therefore, you can kind of like move up within those things. Like almost like when you become like an elder in your community, or like when you graduate a program, but it's like all these things that you didn't know about it before are now revealed to you. So it feels more like that. I know like a lot of these things, I work in abstracts. I'm not a psychic. I'm a tarot card reader. I just kind of try to say the best what I see in the cards. The cards don't lie. I mean, I'm not lying either, but my puny human mind might not be interpreting everything correctly, but that's all that I see. That's the best that I can describe. All right, Priya, it is your turn. I hope this helps you, Haley. Okay. All right, let me shuffle up. That was a big one. We got 2 cards already hopped out. I see one of them, so that's why I'm making a face. It's not the worst one, but it's not one that I like. Oh, okay. Ew. All right. Okay. It's not terrible. It's not great either. So we have the Knight or the King of Cups. It seems like there's been something that you've been giving, putting forward, ideas, treasured talents, feelings, whatever. It's like you're trying to keep pushing forward and connecting and doing the best that you can, giving your all, giving things that are important to you, doing things that are important, and you're hitting a wall. This is the 10 of Wands. So it just seems like it doesn't ever get through. Like it doesn't move through. It doesn't work. It doesn't, people aren't receptive to it, or they're just like, no matter what you do, you still have more work to do. Like it never gets done. Like, and you're probably feeling very bogged down and very overburdened with this 10 of Wands. And the last 2 cards, it's the Knight or King of Discs with the 8 of Wands in front of it. So it seems to me like the interpretation of this is like, put less of your feelings into it. Like, because this is a card of like hard toiling work. So it's like, maybe not put so much of the emotion into it. Just see what needs to be done. Like recognize it as almost like a job. And not putting so much of your feelings or your preciousness into it. Like, just do it. Like, do it. Keep working. It's like saying working at it. And then it'll lighten. Like, it's just saying, like, almost like pure elbow grease will kind of make everything kind of like move along quickly. Because it seems like the emotional component is what's bogging everything down. So if there's any way to like cut out the emotional component, like, and just do it, you know, it'll still be tedious, but I think you'll feel less burdened. I hope that makes sense, because it doesn't make sense to me, but it doesn't need to make sense to me. It's not for me. Okay. All right. Anybody else down for a reading? No? You're welcome, July, and you're welcome, Haley. I hope those were helpful. Well, I guess I should talk a little bit about Back to Porch Magic. I haven't been on the Etsy page lately, but they have this really cool like Lakshmi candle, which I don't know, it looks really cool. It's like shaped like the goddess Lakshmi, and I think it would just be like a cool art altar piece. Oh, also remember tonight is Imbolc, or I don't know. And some of the fire feasts, I kind of count them as being like mechanically my brain puts them on the second. A lot of places put them on the first. So I kind of like it, but some of them put them on the 31st. So I kind of figure like the 31st, first, and second are all like, if it's a fire feast, it's like party time. So we're all like having a party time. All right. Oh my goodness. Priya. Oh, what do you think? Which will work? Well, it's funny that you say that. Well, I'm in the US. Clearly. I look like an American. I talk like an American. Well, looking like American, I mean like my style and my manner is very American and United States American, and my English is very American English. But I also have a friend who emigrated to the Netherlands, so I know that can be difficult too. So let me do a So it just seems like the waiting game is what's so hard. So once you know, it'll still be a lot of work, but you know where you're going. Okay, that makes more sense now. All right. Well, let me see. I'll draw. Okay. I will draw which. I'll see what I can do. I'm not so good with the yes, no, but I'll draw a card for the Netherlands and draw a card for the US. Okay. The Netherlands, it might seem like a win, but then not be a win. The US seems more likely. Like it would be a lot easier like to get through, but it seems like the Netherlands would almost be like a bait and switch. This is the 10 of swords behind the 7 of wands, and the 7 of wands is like, yeah, you tried it and you did it, like feel the fear, do it anyway. But then this is like a big fat no. But the US Knight of Wands, it almost seems like a screaming yes. So it seems like it's more likely that. Yes, I hope that answered your question. No. All right. Anybody else this evening? I was talking about pagan holidays. Now, Imbolc is the one I haven't completely wrapped my head around after all these like 20 some years of studying paganism, being a pagan. Because like Lugnasa in August makes sense to me. It's the first harvest, you know, kind of signaling like, hey, fall's coming. But I guess Imbolc is like, yes, spring is coming, but it's like hard. Like we have Groundhog Day in the United States. And that is like totally it's totally an Imbolc holiday. Like we're going to celebrate like to see how quickly spring is going to get here, whether it's going to be a month and a half or 6 weeks, you know, kind of silly shit like that. But there's more questions. Time frame. Okay. I'm not so great with time frames, but I will try. Time frame for any answer, or like the time frame for an answer? Well, the time frame for the winning answer, because this is the 10 of discs, this is about like having the home, but also like having all your resources together, all your gifts. Like this is a great card to get in the nature of a question like this. It could be anywhere from 10 weeks to 10 months. Since it's discs, I can't say 10 days. That's too fast moving for discs, but 10 weeks to 10 months. I'm sorry, I can't narrow it down further than that. So think 2.5 months to, yeah, 10 months. So I hope that helps. You know, still a long road, but hopefully it'll be one or the other. Okay. Okay, so as tonight is like the only night I get to go out, if no one else has a question or wants me to read tarot for them, I think I'm going to wrap things up. Again, if you're new to this and you just popped on, my name's Heidi. I read tarot. I read for backporchmagic.com. If you'd like a longer reading with me, you can go up to backporchmagic.com and book a half-hour. I do half-hour readings through them. Yes, I do these lives every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you want to pop on any Tuesday around 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm usually here doing a live. So, you know, since it's Imbolc and Lunar New Year and Year of the Tiger, and maybe I'll go kiss my kitten and go out and have a cup of tea with all the other weirdos. Hope you all have a great week. I will see you next Tuesday. I say without irony.